morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are quite relaxed after the exams and waiting for the scores to be known to you. But we shall continue with our studies, with our regular classes. So today we are going to start with civics chapter number 4, and the name of the chapter is Key Elements of a Democratic Government. Children, you all are familiar with what type of government we have. Of course, we all know that we are having democratic government in our country. So what is democratic government? Democratic government, in short, we can say it is a government of the people, by the people and for the people. Now, what does it mean? It means that the government is formed with the help of the people themselves. It is the people only who elect their leader as the Prime Minister of the country. So this is democracy, and all the people, whether male or female, who are of 18 years and above, they have the right to vote. That is democracy. Here in this chapter, we will be dealing with main 3 points, and they are known as key elements of democracy. The first element is equality. What does equality means? Equality means giving all groups of people equal justice, treating them as equal. Second is justice, which means promote justice by policy and laws, which means that equal laws are there for every group of people for giving justice to them. The third is resolve conflicts. Conflicts are the disputes. If there are any disputes, who solves them? Yes, it is judiciary. The courts are there to solve the disputes, to solve the conflicts amongst the group or between any parties. So we are going to deal with mainly 3 points in this chapter, and then later on we will be studying the different types of government in this chapter. So we were discussing about our government and the key elements and also the meaning of government. Children, as we all know, in democracy we are interdependent, but at times there are conflicts amongst the people which takes place. But there is facility that if there are any conflicts, some offices are there, the government is there, the agencies are there to resolve the conflicts. So what does these agencies, these offices, they are known. They are formed by the government. They are elected by the people. The neighborhood is there. The cities are there. In even the countries, the people, they are there. They live together and they work for the betterment and forming of the government. In our Constitution of India, it has laid the privilege for the people of every caste, religion to live together and to work with the feeling of brotherhood, fraternity. So let's discuss the functions of government. There are 2 main functions of government. One, it is known as coercive, which means that it is meant the government is there to maintain the law and order in the country and also amongst the people. And second is developmental, which means it is the responsibility of the government to construct the roads, bridges, schools, offices and even hospitals. Then there are 3 main organs of the government: legislature, executive and judiciary. And children, their main function is to make law, and the government is responsible for all the three main functions: to make the law, to implement, and there are the courts, the judiciary, to take care of these two. The law is there, the Supreme Court and the High Court is there to see whether the people, their justice is given to them, their rights are not hampered. Then the judiciary is there, as you see, the Supreme Court, and the Parliament is there, which are part and parcel of our government. And if people have any problem, they can approach the courts, they can approach the judiciary. And this is our national emblem and the government agency who gives us justice. And we have the facility of universal adult franchise, that is, every adult is likely to cast his or her vote in the functioning, in the forming of the democratic government. And if the people feel that the government is not functioning properly, there is a provision to remove the vote, and every Indian is given the right to vote in our country. But there are still some of the countries where the women, they are not given the right to vote. Like if we talk about South Africa, there was a discrimination between the whites and the blacks. The whites, they were in majority and they suppressed the black people. They were given the bad treatment, they were tortured. Then there were elections which took place in the year 1994, and African National Congress was formed in South Africa, and Nelson Mandela, he became the president of the African country. As you recognize, this is the picture of Nelson Mandela, who became the president of South Africa, and then the elections took place for the African national government. The trivia: it is generally believed that the concepts of democracy and constitution were created in one particular place and time, identified as ancient Athens, circa 508 BCE. There is an evidence to suggest that democratic forms of government in a broad sense may have existed. Children, like we have preamble in our constitution, similarly there is trivia in the South African constitution, which is there for the people, for all the people, by all the people, and for all the people. Of course, a government after the principles of eternal justice, the unchanging law of God, for shortness. Then children, there are different forms of government. There are main two forms of government in our country. One is parliamentary, second is presidential. So what is parliamentary form of government? In parliamentary form of government, Prime Minister is the ultimate head of the country, and the President is the executive head of the government. And for the election, if the voting is done, the elections are there to form the government. And as you see, this is the cabinet, where the Prime Minister, with the help of the cabinet minister and in consultation of the President, appoints the council of ministers as well as the cabinet ministers. And then in the presidential form of government, the President is the head of the state, and he is also appointed by the elections, by the people, and he also works for the betterment of the country. And he is responsible, with the help of the President, to appoint the cabinet ministers. Though then there is a unitary and federal system of government, which means unitary means that the main power is in the central government, and central government is responsible for the major functions of the country. And in the unitary form of government, the powers are divided between the central and the state government.
And the state government, it takes care of the state, its proper and smooth functioning, and takes care of the welfare of its people. And children, he conducts the meetings, the seminars and the sessions for the country. Then as you see, this is the Parliament House where the sessions they take place. The summer session, the monsoon and the winter, it takes place. And then dictatorship is there, though it is not in our country, but it is one man show. Here the one man is responsible for the entire functioning of the country. He himself takes the decision for the country. Neither consultation nor decision nor election is taken place in such countries. He is the whole soul responsible for the ultimate functioning of its country. Thank you.